Oh, howdy guys, how's it going? So luckily we was able to hike up here without any precipitation. I was really hoping for that because even though we had that nice stretch of cool weather, I think we're getting one of our last little stints of hot weather, and it's pretty dang humid. It's been stormed a little bit last night into today's morning. And then it's not really been that rainy. It's just been extremely overcast and very humid. And then we're supposed to be hammered with some rain and thunderstorms. It says it's not supposed to start for another few hours, but it feels like it's going to start within probably about an hour. So we're going to be going with the SNUGPAK Stratosphere Bivy today. Really happy to get this bad boy back out. Super light. It's small. I was going to set this up originally to where it was going to get rained on, and I kind of thought I might be able to do that here at this spot, but since I brought my Sarma tarp with me, the Varstalika tarp, I also brought the Helicon Tech small tarp, which we might set it up instead, and then we could have the Bivy on the outside getting rained on whenever, and then pull it underneath the tarp. We'll just kind of have to play that by ear. So we might go with this one first and just see what happens, because I've not got to play around with this Super Tarp Small that much. I've got the regular Super Tarp, like the full-size version, in Pincott, and this one is in Woodland. So before I take this out on that smock and Daypack overnighter, I want to give this a go here. Here it is. This is the one that I got off of betterbushcraft.com, and then I've got jute twine. I have rope rollers with me, but I'm going to keep those aside in the event I need to set up that Varstalika tarp, but we're going to go with this for now. Because this should, if I remember correctly, have a good, decent number of tie-off points to it. And even though it says it's Super Tarp Small, it's not an extremely small tarp. But you still do get a good bit of surface area, and it's got a nice campfire smell to it. Because I remember, I think I used this one when I went with my parents. I used that inflatable tent, kind of a suspended lean-to type filter. Yeah. So now on the corners, just going to do a really basic knot. Just hold it on there. And then I don't know if the limb is going to be strong enough where these are dead, but I'm going to see if I can get this around that one. As long as that doesn't snap off right where the branch meets the trunk of the tree, that should work just fine. Just like that, we got ourselves a tarp wall, and that kind of gives you a better visual of just how big the Super Tarp Small is. Yeah, see, the other thing is I wanted to come to a spot with the storm coming through because it's really been a mixed report from different weather services, whether or not there's going to be like really strong winds and all of that stuff, potential lightning. So I wanted to come to an area that was kind of dense, medium growth, like a medium growth woods, and that's kind of what this is. So there's really nothing that we have to worry about wrecking us in the middle of the night as far as widowmakers go. Hold back. I'm going to see if I can figure something out. You could always put a stick right here, but since we're going to kind of be laying here, it did work out to where I can kind of have the bivy probably out right there in the front, and at the very least let it get rained on, and then chill out under here when we do our stuff. That actually worked out very well, so that should have zero issues with water draining. Okay, well that's frustrating. I don't know why it stopped recording in the middle of that, but I got the German military surplus ground mat. I think another term for it is like the elephant skin mat. Brought it to take and go underneath our bivy, but for now it's a nice large work area. I got it folded in half, so it's a pretty large and a very substantial as far as, I don't know how many meals it is, but it does have like a ripstop design to it as well, so even if it did get a hole in it, should be fine. SNUGPAK Stratosphere bivy, just took it out, got the Pike Trail chair set up. I think this is going to work out good. I'm going to take and put the bivy out there in front. That's why I'm going ahead and setting it up now, even though it's a bit before we go to bed. And I will need to go ahead and put the air mat and all that stuff in it, because you do have to have shape. That's the one thing, regardless of the material that you're using. Doesn't matter if it's Gore-Tex or like this bivy is supposed to be pretty breathable as well. If you let water pool on waterproof fabric for an extended period of time, depending on the fabric and how it's treated and all that stuff, well, the time frame is, you know, really, really broad. Basically, when you're in it and, you know, if you're laying on your side or even you create that dome shape. For the material, having a hoop bivy helps a lot up at the top area where your chest is, but down at the foot box area, that's where you can run into some issues. So that is just for anybody that doesn't have any experience with bivvies or has had bad experiences for that reason. The only thing that would make me sleep with a good portion of this underneath the tarp is if it stays this humid, then I'm definitely going to sleep with the face net area open. I'm going to try to, so I might just sleep with the head area underneath the tarp and then have the foot area down through there. That might be what we do, because that'll still test the bivvy's ability to, you know, handle what is supposedly going to be heavy rain. And this one has colored poles on it that correspond with the sleeves they go in. So like this one at the end, it has green, like a green hem on it. So that's where this one goes. And then even the little grommet where your peg is has a little green tab on it, so you know that that's where it's supposed to go. So there's hole one. It's like once you're really familiar with this thing and you know you've used it a few times, you can throw this thing up right quick, fast, and in a hurry. This is probably the 6th time I've used this one, I want to say, right around there. And I have left it set up overnight in the yard with pretty heavy rain. Okay. Yeah, left it set up in the yard with heavy rain, and I put stuff in it to shape it out, and didn't have any issues at the time with it. Got that. That is nice and taut. And then right here at the back end, oh, sorry, I got this thing twisted. Right here at the back end, you got that mesh, and then we can pull that out to keep any rain off whenever we're over on that side. And you definitely want that out, or if it's not raining, rolled up so that you can take advantage of that ventilation right there. And now for our sleeping setup, got the SNUGPAK Base Camp Ops air mat. It goes really good in that bivy, and it does help with the shape thing I was mentioning. And then our light sleeper Woobie. Now, the sleeping pad will not fit in the light sleeper Woobie sleeping pad pouch area that's sewed over. But I just want to bring this back out and use it again, so that's what we got. Plus, it is nice to take and have that spot where we can put our pillow so that it's not sliding around on top of the air pad, since that pillow doesn't have any type of strap on it. And then we got our flex tail pump, and that is everything in the bottom there. I'm going to put this tarp down there for the time being, just to hold the shape of our bag. Yeah, this pad right here is so comfortable to sleep on. I love this thing quite a bit. Got a valve up top here, but then at the bottom, because this one has a built-in pump, I almost wish, it's not a big deal at all. It's got a foot pump so that you could take and do the self-inflate thing with the foot pump sponge cushion do-jig here, but that is just that much more bulk that if they made a model without it, I would be down for it. So and I don't know, I'm a big fan. I'm not saying this is the best. This is one of those things you have to really work through personal preference. I've not found the air pad that has a design that is very uncomfortable for me, but this one I really, really like, this straight tubular design, because where I'm on the skinnier end of things, my spine can rest in between one of these columns whenever I'm laying down, so it's really, really comfortable. This is not the exact area that we're going to be sleeping at. But the other reason I wanted to bring the Woobie is I couldn't remember what side the zipper on this was on. And I didn't want to bring one of my light sleeping bags that may or may not have a zipper on the opposite side of this. I think most of them correspond pretty well. There you go. A little dirt in there, but see what the inside looks like. Feed this in there. There you go. And so you do, it's probably off camera right now at this exact second, but there is excess room down at the foot end or at the head end, depending on how you want to potentially store your gear or sleep with this. But lots of room. You could even have a larger mat in here, I believe. There's that, and then we got our tiger stripe Woobie. In here. Just throw that stuff aside in the corner. Figure out right there is our pillow. Double-sided side down, because we definitely won't need anything other than just a single layer of the Woobie on top of us. And then finally we'll get our pillow in there. Last time I think it only took a few little puffs to get it to fit properly, and we also got the height, the raised height of this larger sleeping pad to think about too. That might be too much. Oh, that is perfect. Now we have a great way to keep our pillow from, or losing our pillow in the middle of the night. And you can kind of see now what I'm talking about with the shape thing, like how that kind of rounds things off a bit so that water can run off. And then right there is our face bug net area. Since we're not in it, I'm going to just zip this thing all the way up. And once you stake this out, that does add, the tautness to it, so that helps with the water too. We're going to leave it unstaked for now. Now, while we're waiting on the rain to get here, I would like to have a cup of coffee now. I've got some, good coffee with me, but I did bring, because of where I was coming, and I didn't know the exact way the conditions was going to be, We got an MRE with us for today's gourmet eating. This is menu 15 Mexican style chicken stew. I know I've had the chicken burritos and all that stuff. I don't know if I've had the chicken stew one or not, possibly. But I'm hoping there's a coffee in this with creamer, mainly for the creamer part, because I do already have the coffee covered. But if not, so be it, because I was out of creamer, like the powdered creamer. And of course, we got one just go around that does not have coffee or creamer in it. So alcohol stove out. I'm going to be going with one of these Craft Coffee Company Campfire Medium Roast coffees. This one is for, yeah, 8 ounces. Wait, I have instant coffee with me, but 1 second here. Oh, did not know that was in there. This is an accessory packet left over from an MRE that I didn't use. And there is a creamer packet in here. Heck yes, that is why, you know, you gotta store things like squirrels do. You gotta store your nuts for later. Even if you forget about them, you might just come across them whenever you need them the most. I've got a windscreen for that, but right now it is very, very calm. I think it's the calm before the storm. Wait, I don't think that's creamer. Okay, I do have some creamer with me. It is just hard as a rock right now, but I think it might still be fine. So I just completely forgot what I had in this roll top bag. I just threw my stove in here. That was the only thing, and everything else is just like some little random snacks and stuff. So I'm going to try this creamer that we've got with us, and then we've got stuff now to where we could have the Bill's Brew coffee as well for a second cup, which I'll probably go for. Because right here was a spot where I had a little fire before. Could have brought my firebox if I'd have known it'd been this tame at the beginning. Because we've got the heater in our MRE. I need to warm that meal up, and this is still from that same like 2024 batch. So there's really no worries about the FRHs being bad and not working. Yeah, I think I got enough fuel with me to make 2 or 3 cups of coffee, because this flask was just under halfway full. And since I know I wasn't going to need it for cooking, I thought that, well, you know. And as you guys seen, I have my canteen with the canteen cup, but in my food bag, this was the other thing, is I had this smaller coffee cup. Oh, just throw the lid off. And so, yeah, this one's already marked for 10 ounces, so this size will kind of help me keep track of. And I'm not sure if this is the cup that nested inside the other one, and there's a bigger one, or there's a smaller one. But this was a 2-cup set. The other one's not in there, so it must be somewhere else. But I don't need it. But this should sit on here just fine. We'll see if this take for us. Okay, it's lit. Warm up and start vaporizing through those side holes. Be about right. It's going. It's kind of hard to see the flame there. But okay, so that right there is definitely plenty good enough for coffee. It's more than enough, really. Just for a little up-close shot, that's the coffee that I'm going for right now. Got this out of a battle box. And I've used a couple of different kinds of coffee tea bags, but this is the first time using this particular brand, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. It says only steep for about 30 seconds, or your preferred preference. I'm going to steep mine for right about a minute. Need to grab a stirring stick, and we'll just get the bark off of one end. Don't want to do it into the coffee. The problem is I got this pocket knife so sharp that wood this size, it just wants to chew right into it and cut it off. That has been a minute, so let's squeeze our tea, or I keep on our coffee bag. Squeeze it out, get all that good flavor. Set it to the side. Some of our hardened creamer. I'll see if I can dust that up. I don't know if moisture got to it, or I'm pretty sure this is something creamer just tends to do after a bit. Well, this is really hot. Hopefully that'll help break it up. Now this creamer is one that turns, because this is from the same thing, I've had it for a bit. It turns the coffee really white, even though it's not that strong in terms of how it affects the flavor compared to like milk or actual cream. So you can't really you can't go off the color that much. But even though he's working with about 8 ounces, that seems to make a pretty bold cup of coffee. Okay, we'll let that cool down. We'll cover it up though, because stuff will fall in it. Where it's titanium, it'll cool down a bit quicker than if it was in something else. While the coffee's cooling, I have decided this is the area that I want to put the Bivy in. I think this just makes the most sense. So, I'm going to bring it right here. And then that's still very much in the rain. I just got to have a... Alright, let's see how this coffee is. Okay, it's actually still very hot. Just fogged up my glasses. I gotta say that coffee is pretty dang good. I myself, I probably would have left that coffee bag, tea bag, whatever you want to call it, in there for probably another 30 seconds, so about a minute and a half for me would probably be about perfect, but this is still really good. And then when you consider how convenient it is to, you know, just carry those packets with those coffee bags in it, solid option. Now that we're starting to get into colder weather, once it finally does start to get cold, I can't wait to take and break out the old titanium percolator again, because we carry that with us a good bit, especially since we already have so much room in our packs and everything. And I'll still be using smaller packs, lighter packs, all that stuff, you know, full broad range. Got a lot, and I mean a lot, of stuff I'm going to try to squeeze into this fall, winter, and early spring season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video if you made it this far. We'll just keep trucking with it. Well, that cup of coffee was very good. Now, to increase the effects of it, at least the beneficial parts of it, I'm going to crack open a Magic Mind mental performance shot. And there comes the rain. So before it starts coming down so hard you can't hear me, in case you're curious, because this might, you know, seem out of the blue or something you never heard of. I know I hadn't heard of it whenever I first come across it, but yeah, this is like an all organic little energy shot. It kind of helps your body absorb caffeine better. Like by itself, it has caffeine in it as well, but not nearly as much as a cup of coffee. It just helps your body utilize and take advantage of the caffeine, but then it's got a crap ton of vitamins and just really beneficial. It'll probably help if I took these off. things. So it kind of helps with mental performance, mental clarity, helps with the clean energy feel, and it also helps you know, not feel as jittery or those like twinges of anxiety and stress that can come alongside caffeine and coffee. Don't know if y'all can hear that, but that is thunder. Yeah, so the reason I'm wanting to kind of point this out is if you're somebody, I know people who have quit drinking coffee completely because it just doesn't agree with them. Something like this, I would really give it a go. Because if you drink this by itself, you still do get a nice little pep in your step. But this makes just a really phenomenal chaser for coffee or any caffeinated beverage. You can drink it before or after. It'll still kind of serve the same effect. Just make sure you shake it up real good. Right there's a look at like all the vitamins and stuff that's in there. And even though it's green, it actually tastes pretty good. It doesn't taste like kelp juice or nothing like that. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. Also, too, I'm saving some of these bottles because I'm going to use these bottles to put stuff in, like certain small condiments and everything. Because if I'm in a situation where I don't want to carry glass with me, once these bottles are cleaned out and dried, I think it'll be perfect for that. So, secondary use. Now, since it's raining, in this top compartment, this lid, if you've not seen me do a video with this pack, it's only the third or fourth time I brought it out for an overnighter now. Right now I'm keeping my rain gear up top. These Keela Heritage trousers are like a waxed canvas material, so as far as just some rain goes, they should be perfectly fine getting wet, so I shouldn't have to worry about putting my, like, the rain pants on. But I definitely am going to want this since I'm going to be kind of coming in and out, you know, moving you guys around and stuff. But yeah, the Bivy is getting rained on at the moment, so it looks like the portion of it that I kind of was wanting to get wet is, and the part that I'm not might still be getting a little bit coming in from the side, so we'll have to play around with that. But. And since the last time I used this, I had my oilskin hat on. I'm going to take the hood back out because it just folds away and velcros in real nicely. I really do like this Pentagon jacket. I think I'll be trying out some different rain gear though for winter, just because we've already given this over a year test. We know it's a really solid setup. The only thing that I mentioned, if you haven't seen the video where I went over this suit in detail, you can go check it out if you want to know more about it, because the pants just aren't, they perform very well, but they're just not the most convenient to get in and out of. Now, right here's a look at the Bivy situation. So you can see this part right here is underneath the lip of the tarp, right up to the edge there, and then all of that from down on is what's getting rained on. The one thing is, I do wish that SNUGPAK had some kind of way to toggle that out. Because see, I can't tell if that is really absorbing into the fabric and going on to the other side or not. It seems to be running off relatively well. As you can see right there, like it's kind of like coming off and rolling down the edges. Keep going and we'll see if, because like we're getting a little bit blowing in right there, but everything else should be fine. And since we moved to this location, we're not going to have to worry about putting this underneath it, because I checked, there's nothing that'll damage this on the bottom. Okay, so we seem to have got a little bit of a lull in the rain, and I can tell you I'm ready to eat. And so I got an assortment of snacks in that roll top, Hilltop Packs food bag, but I'm ready to have the main of my MRE for sure. And once again, menu 15, Mexican style chicken stew. Right now, most everything that's dripping and dropping is just coming off of the trees. Really happy with how well the SNUGPAK is doing, because the way the rain is shifting directions, like it already is kind of getting on the top and stuff, and then where I've had this, because I was dripping kind of into the mesh area, so if there's any water in there, from what I've seen, none's come through the body of it, but I have dripped some through that mesh there just off my rain jacket, so I have to keep that in mind. So, get this stuff out and see what all we got. We already know what's in the accessory packet pretty much, so this matches napkin, wet wipe, standard stuff. In our retort pouches, there's our Mexican style chicken stew. Here, oh yes, we got some of the spiced apple pieces. Those are phenomenal for dessert. We got some cheddar cheese pretzels. Got our cracker. We got a First Strike ration bar. Might wait and save that to have it on the way out tomorrow. Jalapeno cheese spread, great. Put that in our chicken stew probably. And then a chocolate hazelnut protein drink. So right now, we're going to focus on warming these bad boys up. That there. That's enough. The other side, the apple slices, and then put one in, and then squeeze the apple slices down in the cardboard on that side. That is hissing away on the inside. Prop that up there. Oh yeah, and we need to slide our cheese in there somewhere, because the heat will make it to that one way or the other. So, not that it takes too much for the cheese. And let's have a look at these cheddar cheese pretzels. I'm glad we actually did get a break like this before it got dark, so that I could fix my food and show you guys without having to constantly deal with the rain. Okay, so these are actually really puffy and not that crunchy. There's not really much of a cheddar flavor to them at all. It just kind of tastes like an airy pretzel. Not too bad at all. I don't know if it vanished into the ether, but this will be the very first MRE I've ever got that the spoon was not in it. I looked in my bag because I know I'd already opened this and it's not in the bag. In my food bag, I did luckily have a long-handled spoon and fork set, so got lucky there. But yeah, that is the first MRE that I will have ever gotten that did not have a spoon in it. If I find it somewhere in a bit, then I'll definitely let you know, but that's kind of strange. So it's been longer than necessary. Everything here should be very much heated through. We'll kind of slide the apples and stuff back to where they need, where they can stay warm against the heater. Once we, oh yeah, that's the apples are really hot. Then we got our main meal here. Heater is cooking. Try to keep our dessert warm. Just right there. Cheese got kind of the perfect consistency. It's not so warm that it's just going to like squirt out of the packet and get over everything as soon as we try to put it in our meal here. And this feels kind of thick, so I'm not sure what exactly we're going to do with our crackers. The old kniff. And then we got a packet, I didn't see this at first either, the packet of hot sauce powder. Oh, so there we go. That is our beautiful, delicious looking meal. Hopefully this didn't get too much moisture to where it won't come out. I don't want all this cheese in there. Got that. Putting all the trash in here. Just take us a second to get that real good mixed up. Now you have yourself a nice creamy bowl of Mexican style chicken stew. Now, let's give it a go. Oh yeah. That, my friends, is nice. And this has got to be one of the spicier ones, because we got the hot sauce and the jalapeno cheese. So, So the cheddar cheese pretzels was a little underwhelming, just very average. But this right here is where it's at. God dang, man. That right there was an absolutely great one. See menu 15. Give it a try. And spices too. Open up your sinuses. Alrighty, let's free these apples. Alright, there was one of the best tears I've got. So, that right there is what our spiced apples look like. Had these plenty of times, and so far not had a single scenario where these were not really, really good. Not overly sweet. Decent amount of cinnamon on them. And that right there is what I would call a very solid meal. Still got the protein shake in the First Strike bar. I put it in the top of my pack. And we'll just put all of our garbage in here. Weather radars or weather services are all saying different things, some that contradict each other, so we're definitely going to be getting more rain tonight. Not really sure how it's going to translate into tomorrow morning and everything. I mean, it's looking like it might rain tomorrow morning, but one weather service says it's going to be pouring the rain. The other ones say that there's probably just going to be some light showers. So stay tuned for whatever happens there. Oh, okay, guys. Well, it is almost 11 o'clock. Get ready to crawl in here and hit the hay. I'm just going to tie my boots right here. I'm really, really fortunate and happy that we have got a break in the weather right now, because it's for sure going to start raining again tonight and then hopefully taper off in the morning. But just have to wait and see. But just want to take advantage of this break and get into the biddy so we don't have to worry about a bunch of water coming in on us. Cover my bag with my rain jacket. Put this like that. Unzip this. This thing seems to have held up against the water very well. One of the pieces of cordage around this zipper come off. Near the bottom of this, like the material, rubbing it against my skin, I don't see any signs of excess moisture getting in this thing at all. It's dry underneath the pad. Right here at the zipper, whenever I opened it earlier, a little bit just got in right there, but that was just me checking it. Because yeah, down there where that part of the zipper is, there's no problem. So definitely want to make sure we got our pillow up there at the head end. That's the part to lay on. So pants have dried out. That was one thing I was waiting for, because one of my pants got a little damp. Like, these pants shed the water very well, but they were still a little damp. You know, you're not going to have zero dampness. So those stay good and dry. We'll set those up in here under the tarp. Put a blanket over us. The only problem just having this Bivy thing on, having the Bivy on top of the sleeping bag is just a bit slippery. You are on a slight slant in this spot. But I can take that off. And then I'm going to see how it is fully zipped. And if I need to, I can open up the bug net part of it. Feels decently nice out right now, so yeah guys, thanks for hanging out up until this point, and I will see y'all beautiful people in the morning. Hopefully it won't be raining too bad. It's still really putting it down this morning, and I have smoothed down a bit when I first had this. And pretty much the whole portion of the Bivy right here from the hood, even the hood area has got a bit wet. I didn't think it was supposed to be storming this much into the morning. But other than just a little bit of condensation when I've had to keep this thing set up a bit, and probably from a bit of the water that was on me whenever I got in and out of this. This thing has definitely kind of kept the rain off. I don't want to get too much water on the inside of this, but it was a really comfortable, enjoyable night's sleep. This air pad still holding up great. I feel like the only moisture that's in here is just from the condensation and just some residual rain coming in. I know it's like dripping off my head in here right now. But yeah, I'm going to just pour this stuff up and I have it over the tarp and try to shake it out a bit. Not going to forward breakfast or coffee or anything this morning. I'm going to try to get things situated and look at the weather radar and see how things are supposed to go from here. But all in all, spring camp, I'm glad we finally got to get this stratosphere out. It's like heavier rain. So far, not really seen any issues with it. So yeah, guys, as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not already. Share the channel with your friends, family, anybody who loves outdoor activities and gear. Hit me up in that comment section, and until the next one, guys, adios. I'm probably going to hover back down in here for a bit.